Now, being here, so it's time to go and hunt down the mastermind behind this plot. In a vertical corridor, of course, and a teleportation pod leading to somewhere. Yeah, looks quite familiar kind of room. A room with 8 capsules. So let's just go here. I'm very certain, yes, it is exactly like that. Hello, Moth. I'm trying to get that. Let's just stick to the basic use of weakness to burn it out of existence. Mostly because it is quite wonky to get the Dragon Punch goes out, so it's time to just use the old-fashioned way. And he starts exploding right at the falling, so it doesn't. You can't get so dramatic pause before exploding to him. And teleporting right down here, back again. And some life replenishment. And I think I'm gonna start from top. Oh, hello, Wheel Gator. You know, now as I have the air dash, I can maneuver much better. I think that instead of using his weakness, which even though does quite a big chunk of damage to him, has the annoying effect of making it so that he will always go hiding after being hit with that attack. So it's more smarter to use the regular method to kill him. Or destroy him, however you want to see it. I think that's a little bit overblown, that explosion scene. Mostly because when you see it that much, it becomes a bit of boring. In the original series, it usually happened with much faster pace, so it was... Well, of course there was lots of variation. But this is interesting room, I think they made this appear more like icy place. And crystals, well, the crystal attack works very well against Overdrive Ostrich, mostly because of him being a quick robot master, and quick robot masters are usually weak to something which stops them. And the crystals, whatever crystal hold, is very good at stopping things. Although you could say that otherwise its usability is quite much zero. Interesting little shift in the background from big desert plain to some sort of ice-filled room. and he didn't have any sort of special effect from being destroyed with his weakness. Some of these Mavericks have a special scene of when they are being destroyed with their weakness, but most don't. Wire Sponge was the first one. Oh yeah, hello there, Crystal Snail. Weird combination. Alright, Magnet Mine. Double hit. More double hits. You are thrown out of your shell and becoming completely... And I have no idea what that flashy effect does, except that it does hamper you, but I don't see if it has any other special effect. Crystal Snail is history. And that history was actually very boring and dull and pointless, which had no reason to even be existing. I don't think it would be the most pointless design of Maverick in Megaman X series, although it's of the more... It's just definitely most point, except no. Wire Sponge has quite nice design and interesting gameplay mechanics, but as a generally you could say that it's not itself interesting at all. Mostly because sponges are not intimidating things. Yeah, and unlike in the original series, in X series usually using the weakness is very crippling to the enemy, giving you a chance to more thoroughly annihilate them. Cut apart. Sponges are cut. Nowadays sponges are made from different kinds of plastics, giving them much more, well, saving the real sponges from their weird, pointless, quite much completely brainless lives. Well, Mother Nature so fit to create a life form which is practically not life form at all, so it's quite weird. But one thing can be said with complete certainty: Mother Nature is a sadist. There's nothing nice in her, in that sense. And this stage got a bit boost of difficulty, and you can also use the spin wheel to charge to a much nastier attack. Oh, I managed to hit him in the air. That was unexpected. And too high jump would have of course skewered your skull. Although I don't think Megaman X has a skull in that sense. It might be something like the outer shell is itself a supporting structure, not a rigid structure inside. Unlike humans and actually all mammals and almost all every fish, it's just that varies that is that support structure made from bone or cartilage. In mammals, actually also in reptiles, it's made of bone. Oh, hello there, Flames Stag. And he appears to be carrying blue flames right at the beginning. High and narrow battlefield, but not so much aerial acrobatic space. Personally, I would not have put a Stag, the fire themed Maverick, although speed, in the theme of speed, it was completely valid choice, and that's always interesting. The fact that hey, he has to go down before he can explode. I don't know why they programmed like that, but it's a nice little detail. And only one more left. It must be Magna Centipede. Oh yeah, it is Magna Centipede because, well, still centipede. Well, centipedes are venomous, and larger centipedes are venomous enough to be dangerous to humans. Not to mention horrifyingly creepy things. Oh yeah, that's an attack almost impossible to dodge. And that. Yeah, Magna, you are quite fast, but I am much meaner. Yeah, you got that attack, but I have this attack. Yeah, luckily you can hit. The room is quite square shaped, so you can quite easily find the way to shoot with this attack. Although that was a lucky hit. That was not a lucky hit. And the standing on the roof trick is quite uninteresting. This generally feels it has more complex structures in gameplay in comparison to the first Mega Man X game, but in its general design does not have as complex and good elements. It's as if they took whatever extra stuff they had from the Mega Man X, first Mega Man X, and then just more explosions. Oh, Sigma. And he knows the right title. Yeah. Oh yeah. This stage was just nothing. Just beat the Mavericks. And now we know that the big bad of the previous games is still around. Why do they have the habit that they never actually manage to bring the new complete back? And it's even the complete same level of Magna Centipede. Very boring and almost, you could say, almost sloppy design work from Capcom. Not make even a good final stage. And now I'm doing them. Didn't manage to do it. So yeah, basic level design is not as really interesting in comparison to the original one, although I do admit that some things have been better set up, mostly because of the upgrades in that. And the ultimate color scheme of Mega Man X is, I find, much more pleasing. The dull blue and white color scheme. This one has red and some red and yellow highlights. Yep. Jump over this and head to this room. Sigma and Black Zero. Yeah, you found a Black Zero. Zero's color scheme is red. Yeah, I was there, you wasn't. Yeah, because there's the real one. reactivation was made better. Yeah, zero. Yeah, whatever. They want to do something, but it is very silly. Well, Zero's been reactivated with all the original parts, and when you look about them, and the path to the final boss is open. I really can't remember what was his main weakness. Well, I guess I have to do some tryouts. But a big drop to a once again square-like room with Sigma. Yeah, he doesn't want me being here. And he's got a new body with Wolverine-like claws. And teleportation, skill, move. And generally, he is about as unpleasant as he used to be. Alright, what was the move? Was it bubble? No, not bubble spray. Was it silk? Nope, not the silk either. And not the spin wheel. Oh yeah, it's the slicer. And he goes down. Okay, so this form goes down. Of course there will be a second form. Which is actually very interesting. I'd say one of the unique bosses in Megaman, final bosses in Megaman game. No life bar. And just a polygonal shape. Which spins around. And you have to, and when you hit him, and there's and well, you have to hit him with a fully charged Mega Buster shot, and he also is able to spawn enemies, and he actually takes a shit ton of damage to actually hurt him unless you use the weakness. Which I'm gonna actually bring use right now. The chain. And chain hurts him like a hell. And interestingly, those enemies he spawns, or are spawned by Sigma, are actually do bring back life, weapon and life bar, so you actually can fight him quite long. But attacks are quite simple. He spits out those things, rams down, hits the ground. Nothing really, you could say, memorable attacks. And he also gets a new move of where he attempts to teleport in on you. Let's use one more life tank, just in case. If you wouldn't use the weakness, which gives you a chance to hit him much faster, it would take much longer time. But he's already taken down. The polygonal shape just rattles and explodes. Yes, of course you do, because you're the bad guy, I'm not the hero. Well, anyways. Well. That's actually a bit of foreshadowing about who is actually Zero's creator. Megaman X was created by Dr. Light, but who was just as brilliant man as Dr. Light was, but was on the other side, and he also went to create his super work. Not bass. That was more like his version of same idea of Mega Man. Zero is someone else's counterpart for Mega Man X, which is really good, because X in mathematics means unknown, while zero usually means that when you add it to something, you either divide it or multiply it. Was it something like by factor of 1 or factor of 2? And you can really see that zero is big. Well, actually, Dr. Light never even went to create Reploids. They are later creation of Dr. Kane and others. That's of course, when you are wage war so long, you become unable to understand peace. And if in bad cases, those who are just unable to handle peace just create a new war. And that's not good. Well, that ends Mega Man X2. Oh, there's all the name with the crystal. Yeah, that's the old-fashioned trickery of English, of complete unknown, of completely drunken English language. Well, did they even check what's the dictionary about English language, or how they did it? I have to say. I could say that at the PlayStation 1 era, the really bad translation fuck-uppery was out. Yeah, like that. Generator, not generator. Yeah. All kinds of Saber Moon R. Yeah, some numbers, but whatever that be. But generally, when you could say that making robots, sentient robot, completely artificial looking creature makes sense, because that's a clear warning sign, or to say tell to humans that it's artificial, so you can see past to the personality and mannerisms. But if it would appear very human-like, it would make it much more intimidating and unsettling. Not necessarily saying, oh, Sigma had a new form of Neo Sigma, and he wasn't smart, and it went down quite nice. And Zero's Mega Man X's are power and speed basically are unknown or infinite. Thanks, Zero. And with this, the episode actually ends right here, and this whole series, just a little side work.